I'm talking to Kash Heed, one of two campaigners for city council in Richmond with the new Richmond Rise party. Cash, it's been a bit of a long campaign. What did you hear out on the campaign trail? What were people telling you in Richmond when you went to all candidates meetings, when you went to doorsteps? What were people telling you that they want for the next 4 years?
Well, let me tell you, the overwhelming issue has been this housing situation that we're in right now. And I think that's probably going to be the significant issue throughout every municipality, every city in British Columbia in this particular election. And it's too bad because it's a very, very important issue and it has to be dealt with all three levels of government. And certainly the local governments can push the other governments to get involved in it. Yes, we all know we need to build more housing. We know we need to build attainable housing. We know we need to build housing for people that are, seniors now, people that have some social issues, some people that have some disability issues. We need to build all of that. This has hijacked the entire campaign, and it may be rightfully so. But there's so many other issues that are out there. So if I have to jump to the second issue that's out here in Richmond, it's the public safety issue. A lot of people are concerned about their own safety. A lot of people are concerned about their families. A lot of people are concerned about what's going on in Richmond. You have similar issues in Richmond that are appearing in Vancouver. You have the homelessness problem. You have the drug issue here in Richmond. You have the emotional health, mental health issues that people are facing. You have the property crimes in Richmond. You have the violent crimes. Just look at the gang activity and the recent shootings that have occurred here in Richmond. One in the most affluent neighborhoods in Richmond and Sunnymead a couple of weeks ago where two gangsters were gunned down. So that is probably the second issue. And of course, there's an array of other issues with respect to farmland and all that. But if I look back over the last 6 weeks, it's been relatively boring type campaign, if I can use that description of it, because nobody has really come to the forefront and throw on something that is an issue that everyone can get on and make a comment about. I've been throwing out a few things, and I think there needs to be good government here in Richmond. I call our community, our current council, full of divisive inertia because it gets absolutely nothing done. Our current council, there have been a mayor, for example, he's been on council for 24 years, much too long. We should never have someone that gets into politics as the bulk of their career. You need to have your career, you need to be qualified before you even get into politics. And that's something that we really have to work on here if we're going to change the system. We need to go to, time-sensitive tenures in council. We need to look at fixed terms for council. We need to look at those types of issues to ensure that we don't get this continual inertia in council because the person has been there for so long. So term limits is a significant issue. However, Bob, it is really not overriding some of the other issues that are out there. But if you have to look at the dysfunctional city councils we have, even some dysfunctional levels of other governments that we have, it's simply because we have politicians that are getting in there for a career, really not public service. They need to have their career well before they enter politics.
And along the way, along the campaign trail, any surprises, anything that you weren't expecting?
No, the issues that came up at the all candidates meeting and through some of the contact with the media have been issues that I think every candidate is pretty well prepared for. I think a lot of the rhetoric, and I'll use that term, from some of these candidates comes from the fact that there is no debates that do take place. You can't delve into an issue. You can't debate that with another member because there's too many people that are going for this specific role. And as a result, you don't have the time to do it. I don't even think the three candidates going for mayor really had any significant debates. That's when you get to really know what the person's position is, what their beliefs are on particular issues. And we don't have that at the municipal level.
I think you've already said some things that need to be changed in the process, term limits. But is there anything else that needs to be changed about the system, about the process for 2026 for
Well,
both candidates and voters?
Well, let me tell you, I think we've got to look towards more of an electronic version of how we deliver the vote. I think a lot of people are looking at the fact that they've got to go to the poll, for example, tomorrow all day when they could sit at home. We're managed to do everything else at home over the last 3 years during COVID. Why can't we vote from home? Why can't we build in the security within our systems to actually make that happen so we can get more people engaged in the voting process? I can tell you right now, when you have a low turnout of, for example, only 37%, and that's what they had here in Richmond in 2018 for your local election, something is wrong with the system. You've got to engage the voters more. You've got to have significant issues out there that they're going to talk about, that they're going to debate one another on, and you have to get the people that are on the voters list here in Richmond to get out and vote. And I think one of the ways you can do that is make it easier for them to vote.
Well, thanks again to Kash Heed, candidate for City Council in Richmond with Richmond Rise. Running mate is Derek Dang, who's making a campaign a comeback to City Council. Kash is making a comeback to politics, a former Solicitor General in British Columbia. Thanks very much and best of luck.
Thanks, Bob.